This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Caroline, you should tell them about the newest thing that Bloody Happy Hour is doing.
A Patreon.
It's a Patreon. What is that?
That means you're basically like a VIP member, and you get some perks. You maybe get like merch a little earlier. You get
exclusive merch.
You could get first dibs on signing up for a live show. You get episodes with no commercials.
You get our video because our video is no longer available on YouTube. It is only on Patreon. And the most important to me is you get videos of our live shows, but also bonus episodes each month. But if you're on a Patreon, you're VIP, you're going to get more.
Because I always have a lot of details I want to go to. I can law-splain. I might read a book.
This is also going to be the exclusive place that Dirty Chat is going to go to. In order to hear the full content, it's going to be Patreon. Where do they go again?
Patreon.com/BloodyHappyHour.
Hey y'all, I'm April.
And I'm Caroline.
And this
is your Bloody Happy Hour.
Caroline, are you ready for this?
This is your newest guilty pleasure.
It's the bloodiest part of your week.
Did we say something about it also being happy hour?
Show did.
Because we about to be sipping on some murder. Bloody Happy Hour.
Oh, hey y'all, this is April.
And this is Caroline.
Quickie, Tuesday, news edition, and before we go any further, Matt Perry.
Matt Man.
Chandler Bong. Chandler Bong is just one of the names he went by on the show. Fans will know. Chandler Bong. But Chandler Bing. My Chandler Bing. Caroline, I almost can't even have this conversation with you because I know you did not watch Friends.
I mean, I watched it. I just wasn't like a super Friends watcher.
And that's what people are saying to me about the World Series right now. Like, I don't watch baseball. I didn't know, and I don't care. So I have to. But when somebody says they don't watch Friends, it's almost equivalent to having a cat.
Oh. I mean, I watched it. I know all the characters,
okay.
And I watched, but I just never was like the quoting the lines of the show.
Mm-hmm. And watch it every night before you go to bed like I did.
I did that with like Roseanne. I watch all the time. I love Roseanne. I still do. I think she's really great.
We can't get off Chandler.
Oh, sorry.
Especially for Roseanne.
And Will and Grace.
Yes, Will and Grace.
And Chelsea Handler.
Okay.
I mean, that's probably who I watched on it.
Well, Friends, the best TV show that's been on TV. And it ran for about 10 seasons. And still one of the most popular. Even the generation now is in love with Friends, and they had no idea it even existed. So, Friends, Matthew Perry, we all know that he is dead. He was 54 years old. There's still an investigation. It's still ongoing, but what we know is the police responded to a call on the 28th at 4:07 p.m. at his house, and he was found in his jacuzzi. They pulled him out to do like just an assessment and found out that he was deceased. There was also reports of a call of cardiac arrest, but then a 911 caller referenced to drowning. There were no drugs found at the scene. I read that he has an assistant. He sent his assistant on an errand, and then when she came back is when, or he, I don't know if it was he or she, found Chandler and Matthew Perry in his jacuzzi. He was known as Chandler Bing, but he was also very known for his very open drug and alcohol addiction. And as a watcher from the beginning, I remember when it first came out, I think there was a wreck or something. And then you would see the different stages of Chandler on Friends, because there'll be a skinny Chandler and then there'll be a fat Chandler, there'll be a skinny Chandler, there'll be a fat Chandler. And so when he did his interview with Diane Sawyer just a couple years ago, he told us that if it was big Chandler, he was on alcohol really, really bad. If it was small Chandler, it was pills really, really bad. And he would admitted to taking up to 55 Vicodin a day.
I don't even know what that means.
Have you ever taken a Vicodin? Like had it?
No,
oh,
but I'm just saying I don't
post-surgery?
know how you can how you can get up to that. I don't.
Well, I mean, remember
Without-
Murdaugh? He was taking tons. Like he was taking tons, and that's what happens is you want to feel the same high.
How do you even get that much pills?
Multiple doctors. Murdaugh had multiple doctors, but he was saying, and Drew Carey was even saying that like these doctors get so excited about caring for somebody famous that they basically give them what they
Johnny
want.
Depp, yeah, they did have.
So you go to this doctor, you go to this doctor, you go to this doctor. He said he got to the point to where he would go to open houses and
I
go
did
look in
see
their
that.
medicine cabinets and look for prescription medication. But what I don't know is Vicodin's obviously a horrible thing, but he's not the only one been addicted to it. I don't know how it makes them feel. It just makes me not poop. And it makes me nauseated and it gives me a headache. So how do you get over that to want to take it and then take it up to
It must not affect them
55
like that,
times?
because I know some people it keeps them up.
The one
awake,
time-
which
yeah.
I'm like, how is that's what I don't understand about pain pills in my head is that how does it make you feel alert and awake? But some people use it to feel alert and awake,
I don't
or
even know.
numb or something.
Yeah.
I know when I had surgery, they tried to give me codeine or
Yeah.
whatever after, and it was horrible, and I had to get a different kind. But well, I can't be addicted to that. But
Codeine, hydrocodone, Vicodin to me, but I guess it affects people differently. So he says he knows he'll always be known for Chandler Bing, but he wanted to be known for something else. He had recently written a book called Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing, and he opened up a sober living house, like a detox house called the Perry House, and he had helped so many people get sober. He had recently gotten an award for it, and that's what he wanted to be remembered for, not Chandler. So we're doing the opposite of what he wants, but I mean, I'm sorry. He's Chandler. That's who I fell in. That's who I love, and it's hard for him because he didn't even watch the shows because felt like he was watching his addiction, like in action, because he would watch a show but remember like what that night before was, or like how hungover he actually was that day. So he doesn't watch it. There's very few episodes that he watches, like when him and Monica got married, because he was actually in a sober living and they would bus him to the set. He would record and then they would bus him back. But he was sober at the time and he looked good and he felt good. And that's one of the few episodes that he would watch.
Wow.
So right now, the toxicology or the autopsy's been deferred. They're waiting on investigation, and so we will know more. People are assuming that it's probably drugs and his up and down roller coaster his whole life. It very well could be. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And even if it's not cardiac arrest from doing a lifetime of drugs, will do it for you. And that's what happens to a lot of drug addicts that are on drugs and then they finally get off of drugs, but they've already done screwed up their heart. Like sometimes they're in active heart failure because they did so many drugs for so long.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, so this is my celebrity, Paul Walker, and this one, Chandler, Matthew Perry. Like, these have been probably my hardest celebrity deaths. Which brings me to a question. we know yours was Tina Turner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a fake celebrity death? And what I mean by fake is like an actual character on something that you're watching, but it hits you really hard to where you're sad or you're crying, or like when you're little, when Bambi died and every kid cried, right? But is there something in your adult life that you've watched and you've lost a character that you really loved that had made you depressed?
No, I just don't finish the shows.
So you don't get attached.
Yeah, I have attachment issues.
When Jax Teller died 2 days ago on Sons of Anarchy, and I've just been sad, and I was like, not Chandler and Jax in 1 week. But my hardest fake celebrity death was Derek Shepherd from Grey's Anatomy. I think I mourned for 2 weeks behind that. Dr. McDreamy.
Oh, well, he died on the show?
Yeah. I thought you watched Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, until like season 10. What is it, season 28 or something? Like,
I don't know.
but I
Meredith
didn't-
Grey's husband, the doctor. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know he died, but way to ruin it. I was going to start watching it again, so
No,
now I'm
you
not.
weren't. No,
But
you
it was
wasn't.
really sad when Izzy's hospital boyfriend died. Or
No. I mean, it was kind of sad, but Izzy.
like season 1.
Izzy fell in love with somebody every 5 minutes.
Well, I know,
Drug
but it
couldn't
was
take
still
it
real sad because I like the guy.
I do like Negan. Yeah. That's
Negan?
Negan from Walking Dead.
Oh, okay.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Okay, so on to some updates is missing 6-year-old Noel Rodriguez. Do you remember? He's the little boy out of Everman, and he's a little Hispanic boy. He had been missing for about a year. He had disabilities. His mom was the
Flew him
mama.
out on the, like when she flew out with the family and the rest of the kids. And
Yes,
they flew
and
to
not
another
him.
country.
She went to
yeah,
India.
and they lived under his port.
She worshipped like the Santa
Oh,
Muerta
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Ikamel did that one.
So he was from Everman, so that's right down the road, like right before you get to Burleson. He had been missing for a year now at this time. So just now, Monday, October 30th, a grand jury finally indicted Cindy Rodriguez Singh, which was his mom, on multiple charges, including capital murder. So after all this drama, like remember they went to a house where they lived for so long. They went through the shed. They dug up like a cement like patio that they had poured down. You don't typically put a patio in a rent house, right? You don't put the money into that because it's not your house. They were looking for a body. They have still yet to find the body of Noel, but they are sure that he
Yeah.
is dead. So, multiple charges, including capital murder. And so now U.S. Marshals are able to go, which I think they're still in India, and bring them both back. So her and her husband, who authorities believe, of course, he is tied to the disappearance of Noel. Now they can come back to the U.S. and the investigation is just kind of hyping up again. Because now at least you're going to have her here where you can question her or at least try her for the capital murder.
Good.
So I'd forgot about that case for a while. It was big, and then it just kind of went away.
I know there's a lot. Remember that Oklahoma case with
Yeah.
all those people and those 2 friends and the whole and whatever.
I
happened
know.
with
We
that.
need to just go and Google and see if there's any
I know,
updates
'cause
on
like,
some of
what
those.
happened to all these? All of a sudden, like they're huge and then they go away.
There's usually nothing because you got to wait till they get arrested or go to jail. But did that guy die? The
He
McFadden?
shot himself, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Brendan Deppa. So this happened February 23, but it's back in the news right now. So Brendan Deppa is a 17-year-old Mantaza High School student out of Florida. Last February, his teacher, paraprofessional teacher's aide, took his Nintendo Switch away.
Mm.
This
Oh,
video
yeah.
went viral.
Yeah.
and he knocked her down, threw her on the floor, kicked her and punched her in the back and in the head more than a dozen times, resulting in broken ribs and just a bunch of bruises. She was down for a while. She had to get a medical assistance.
Oh, he beat the crap out
Shit
of her.
out
Yes,
of her.
Yes.
This kid is 6'6", 270 pounds at that time.
Oh my
The video went viral.
Yeah.
You could see it over Twitter. I don't know why I didn't see it then.
Oh, I did.
I just saw
Yeah.
it because he actually went to court Monday, the 30th as well, and pleaded no contest. When he was arrested back then, he was charged as a juvenile because he was 17.
Mm-hmm.
But also, he was reportedly autistic. And he had previous charges, 3 prior battery arrests. So he had been arrested
Oh my gosh.
3 prior times. And since then, he's gotten into a fight in jail and threatened to kill that
Why is he even in
paraprofessional.
school? Why is he
In
not
jail. He's
I mean,
in jail.
I know after I guess he was arrested and he just still goes back to school.
Yeah. Well, and if he is autistic, because it says reportedly autistic,
Right.
and his lawyer is saying that his mental condition, cognitive ability, and that he should not, 1, be tried as adult, and 2, stand trial. So there is a trial is set for 31st. He's in jail, held on $1 million bond, and he's kind of making it, but he obviously has these outbursts. So I just think this is going to be a sticky little trial because you're going to have some psychologists up there. You're going to have to look into this diagnosis. They're going to do their own assessments. And, in school, when a kid with a disability does something like this, we have what's called a manifestation determination review, where you get SPED personnel and principals and people who know the student, and you decide if that behavior is part of their disability. And if it's part of their disability, you can't really punish them. You give them interventions, you do all these other things, but maybe you don't send an autistic kid for DAEP for, I don't know, stripping because did they really know what they did, right?
Yeah.
But in the real world, there's no MDRs. If he went and did that at Walmart, the police are not going to say, let's go have an MDR and not send him to jail. So now that he's being tried as an adult and this is going to trial, I'm just kind of eager to see, will he go to jail?
What's the trial for? What's he
Battery.
Were
you going to say BDSM?
No, I was. I was like, she didn't.
First
he didn't
degree
kill her,
felony aggravated battery on an elected official. And you can be sentenced up to 30 years in prison for that.
Why would he not plead? Okay.
He pled no contest.
Yeah. Which, I mean, what? He just didn't say anything. It's just. It's basically.
It's
not
basically
guilty.
saying, I'm not saying I did it. I'm not saying I didn't do it.
Yeah.
But I'm just in the middle. But that's always an option. You don't just hear people like this pleading that. I pled
with
that all my
Koberger-
MIPs.
Yeah, yeah.
They were like,
I had to play that when I got charged for sprinklers. I got a
Charged
ticket.
for sprinklers
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
because they weren't going off.
Well, apparently there was a water restriction and my sprinklers went off during the restricted time zone and my freaking some rude-ass neighbor of mine turned me in.
Oh, Karen, probably Ross.
Well, she's probably the one that fell the next week and hit her head and burned her face on the concrete and had a stroke.
Oh, you need to
Sorry
pray
about
about that one. You need to pray about that one. I don't know if that's equal punishment.
I didn't turn myself in. I just said if she was the one that turned me in, the next week she goes out to check her mail and falls down and trips and lays on the concrete for too long because she got a concussion and her face got
Did you help her?
a little. I didn't see it. I just said, "Bitch, that's what you get." No.
Bystander effect. You're watching her on your ring.
No, you know what? They actually did come over and ask if I if I had it on there.
Retaliation. They were like, did you retaliate on her?
I said, I was wondering why all these police, like these ambulance and stuff was over there that one time, and like, all these cars, and then the next thing I know, there she goes walking on a walker with tennis balls and her night nurse. I said, well, that's what you get for turning me in for my sprinklers.
I'm not laughing.
Was it worth it?
Well, Caroline, I need you to watch for this trial, this Brendan Deppa trial, and let us know, because I just think it can go either way. What do you think?
I don't know, because I don't know how the that
just
that
autism
will work.
period.
Yeah, like I need to go see some case law or something on previous
ones.
You know, that's what we refer to as case law.
Yeah.
And when you're a lawyer like me or an attorney,
Yeah.
you have to go to prior cases and figure out what they decided. So.
Well, listen to this crazy one. So September, just now, 2023, a guy named Stephen Riley was all excited because he received an email from a lawyer of one of his distant relatives. And this lawyer sent him all these documents, needed his signature because his distant relative had recently passed away and left Stephen a $30 million inheritance. Okay? So Stephen was like, oh, hell yes. Hell yes, hell yes. They had like this plan, like he was going to meet up with the lawyer, sign all the paperwork. They were actually going to pick up the lawyer at the airport or meet at the airport, get all the paperwork done. He was going to get his inheritance, whatever, moved over to his account. Well, so Stephen and some of his friends go to this airport in Minot, North Dakota, to meet with the lawyer. But while they're at the airport, this is September 3rd, while they're at the airport, Stephen began acting like a little funny, a little delirious at first, kind of like he was drunk, but he hadn't been drinking. Then he got really, really sick and really, really dizzy and red and flushed. And so Stephen was like, man, I think I'm having a heat stroke, but you're in North Dakota. It's never that hot in North Dakota. And so they were like, well, we need to take you to the hospital. You need to get some help. And Stephen was like, no, I think I just need to go home. So they take him home to his girlfriend named Anna.
Anna?
I-N-A.
Oh, no. I don't know about this one. Anna's, she is definitely a night nurse, and she works at Johns Hopkins.
They were like, Anna, you might need to take Stephen somewhere because he's not feeling good. And Anna was like, no, he's fine. I've had medical training, and he drank a whole lot last night. And with the heat in North Dakota, I still don't understand.
I don't know what's going on.
I think he's just having a heat stroke. I'll take care of him, right?
Okay.
So friends took him home. One of the friends checked on him the next day. What a good friend. Checked on him the next day and knocked on the door. And Ina barely opened up the door crack, stuck her head out. And he was like, hey, I'm checking on Stephen. How's he doing? Let me talk to him. And she goes, oh, well, he felt bad. And he went to one of the walk-in urgent care clinics.
Okay.
So friend was DTF. He drove to every walk-in urgent care clinic in the area, and there was no Stephen. So he was like, something is not right. Her name is Anna, and that means I can't trust her. So he calls 911 and just reports an unconscious person at the house. He don't even know that he's unconscious. He's just like,
he doesn't even know
he
doesn't even know if he's there.
Yep, nope. He says, I need some intervention, and I'll have to deal with it later on.
Oh my gosh.
So police came, and he was there, and he was unconscious. And so they take him to the hospital, but it had been too late. So by September 5th, Stephen had died. And so they interviewed Anna, and Anna was like, yeah, he had drank too much the night before. I guess he's dehydrated and a heat stroke. And I tried to get him to hydrate, and he wouldn't. Blase, blase. Well, friends were like, nope, this bitch poisoned him. She joked about poisoning him all the time with antifreeze. So they tell the police, and the police send him for an autopsy, and they go and check the house. And I guess Anna don't clean very good because Anna there was
Antifreeze bottle open.
Coors Light bottle with antifreeze in it. There was a Windex spray bottle with antifreeze in it, and still like antifreeze just open in a container in the garage.
The Shaggy defense. It wasn't me.
It wasn't me. So when the body comes back, he was positive for ethylene glycol, which is the main ingredient in antifreeze. And after, of course, talking to her, she was like, you know what? I do think he was smoking a cigarette, and I think his cigarette fell in the antifreeze, and he picked it up and smoked it. Could this do it? She was trying to think of all these reasons excuses of how he could have got antifreeze in his body.
I don't know. I saw him like drinking out of the antifreeze
Yeah,
bottle.
is
It's
it
very
green?
odd, but he just really liked it. Kind of like the eye drop killer. She just liked the taste of eye drops.
Oh.
She just liked the taste of Visine. She mixed in her alcohol. That's what he did.
I forgot that's fatal. So she eventually admitted to poisoning his sweet tea with antifreeze. So she tried it in his Coors, but antifreeze is sweet. So he took a drink of it and immediately spit it out because your Coors isn't supposed to be sweet. So put it in the sweet tea, and he drank it up and got sick, and that's how he died. So just Monday, so he died on the 5th, September 5th. Monday, October 30th, she was arrested and charged with the Class A felony murder. Now, here's the kicker. They were together for 10 years. Okay? 10 years.
Okay.
Boyfriend and girlfriend only. Lived together 10 years. But when he got that email about that $30 million, he was throwing her the deuces.
Oh, he's broken up with her.
So she was pissed, and she poisoned his ass. Because she was like, I've lived with your ass for 10 years. Ought to get some of this money.
Yeah.
And so she was like, if he dies, because we're common law married, the court will recognize me as like the common law wife.
Anyway. So dumb.
So she was thinking her and his son would have to split the $30 million.
She went all the
was
way to the
thinking.
future. She
Yeah.
went every which way except for logical, which is really somebody just going to call you up and say, oh, you got a relative that's long lost and they died and they want to give you $30 million.
Well, today, November 2nd, a report just came out saying it was all a scam. So it's not funny. But it is funny.
Because who did people think it was real?
Yes, him, all his friends. Anna, the son, probably thought he's going to get some money.
Did anybody eventually
looks
try to
legit.
meet up with the people?
Yes, but they never showed. When they were at the airport, they're supposed to meet with the lawyer.
Yeah.
And the lawyer never showed up, but they ended up having to leave because he had got so sick anyways.
Yeah.
So they were so distracted by his sickness that they didn't really think about it. So the police was investigating this. Yeah. So the police was like, bitch, want no money? So he broke up with his girlfriend behind fake money. She killed somebody behind fake money. And his friends lost some friends behind fake money.
I guess that's what they mean by money is the root of all
It
evil.
is. You never, I don't know about never, but your decisions ought not be solely based on money. Because there's some type of evil force, greed, something driving that.
Yeah. Wow. I'd have known. That's all I got to say.
Oh, yeah, you've never been tricked by fake documents at all, have you?
Did you miss the joke? I'd have known.
I'd have known. Anna. Okay.
Oh, it's Ina?
Anna.
Not Ida.
Not Ida.
I already forgot.
Yeah. Okay, here's my last one. I didn't get to type it out, and it is back in Florida. I feel like every quickie is either Utah or Florida.
Or Idaho, Florida.
Okay, this is the Rainey family. And so 3 years ago, the Rainey family went on vacation in Florida. And husband, David Rainey, husband and father, had gone missing while on this vacation 3 years ago. Well, the story was Cindy Rainey, wife, said that they had gotten an argument, and he left without his cell phone, his glasses, or his wallet after this argument. Okay. And so she reported him missing because she didn't know where her husband was. And so later that evening, detectives, they're interviewing, they're talking to her sons. They find him dead in a canal behind the family's rental. He had multiple stab wounds to the chest and had been placed in the water after his death. Mm-hmm. The case was ruled a homicide, but they really didn't know
who did it.
Like, who did it. So 2 years went by. It was 2 years ago. And just now on October 25th, 2023, the investigators put the story together, but they haven't released the full story. And they arrested Cindy, but not just Cindy, their son Bailey and their other son Jackie in connection to husband and father's murder. So both sons.
Who are those ones?
Those are the sons. So these are the sons, and here's the mom, plotted together and killed the daddy and threw him in a canal behind the rental home.
What the hell did he do to them?
Yes, or not do. Did he get an email about $30 million?
Maybe 50.
They were charged with murder, disturbing a crime scene, tampering with evidence, and are being held in their respective jails because they all live in different areas now. And so I'm just eager to hear, like, what the actual story is, what the reasoning is. What's the function behind this behavior?
That's all it says?
Yeah.
No, my computer froze.
I mean, I'm sure there's other stuff out there, but that's all this story says. And it's developing because actually they couldn't even get them for murder. They just got them for the tampering. So they got them on these charges to try to investigate and probably break one of them to see if somebody's going to confess of what happened.
I have so many questions.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot. What's your questions?
How long did it take for them to find this body?
They found the body that night.
They found the body. They questioned the family. They don't get anything. And then they just finally randomly come up with evidence.
You got 3 people that are all saying the same thing. And she did everything right. She reported him missing. She seemed genuine at the time.
We have internet
they found
searches
the body.
and
So
stuff.
then they ruled it a homicide. But see, I think they were on vacation there. So they had to go back to their regular county. So they've just kind of been working on it behind the scene while they went back home and lived their life. I know. We'll have to look more into it.
Yeah.
I just sent that
I
one
need
to
to
me.
know about that story.
Actually, Robin, I think, sent that to me.
Well.
Yes, developing. So that's all the news I have. Are there any updates that I missed? I hadn't looked.
Well, there's just a few trials that are going on right now. We have the eye drop killer trial. I don't know that lady, but she was, or I forget her name, but she was, she's on trial for putting triglycolate or whatever the active ingredient is in Visine in her. It's like a friend of it's like an older friend of hers. It's like her and the suspected killer, alleged killer, that girl's mom, and the one that she killed were like best friends. But this was the younger one. So they're like separate in age. Anyways, apparently she wanted to get to her money, this lady's money. This lady didn't have any kids. But they're saying, but the girl, and she like is a pathological liar, this person, the suspect. She lied about this, and this. And then she was like, I don't know her name. Shelby loved Visine and drank it all the time. Like, okay.
I remember something about this, but I don't remember the whole thing. So maybe when it's done, you tell us the story.
There's that. There's Charlie Adelson. That trial's going on. That's a wild trial. It's so good.
What do you
It's from 10 years ago. It's this lady, Wendy Adelson, and her husband, Dan Markle, were married. They had 2 kids together. They're probably together for, 10 years. They get divorced. They have a contentious divorce. It's a big custody battle. They live in Tallahassee. Her family lives down in Miami. She wants the kids. She wants to like move down to Miami, but he's like, no, because it's like 7 hours apart.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, geography. And so she wants to take the kids, but he's like an attorney. He's a lawyer. So he knows all the stops to pull out. And so, like, no, you're not moving my kids 7 hours away. Then her family, who's down there, tried to bribe him $1 million to move down there. Like, why is your family so invested in where y'all live? And all of a sudden, he gets shot dead in the driveway. And then it's connected back to this girl who dated Wendy's brother. And she's connected to some the Latin Kings or something. And so then these 2 guys get convicted. Then she gets convicted. Now the brother, Wendy's brother, Charlie, is on trial for hiring the hitman to put the hit out on on Dan.
Is Wendy gonna be next?
Oh yeah. Wendy and her mom. The
whole family just conspired.
Yeah, except for the dad.
Oh.
And there's an older brother who has no contact with the family. So it's a wild triangle of
again in Florida.
Thing. Yes. And then finally we have our trial that's going on in Texas right now, which is Caitlin Armstrong, who was the bicyclist who killed or allegedly killed Mo, the professional cyclist, and the whole love triangle thing. And the one who tried to escape, and she escaped to Costa Rica, and she went and faked an illness so she could go to a doctor's appointment, and then she ran away from those really fat deputies, and they finally caught her. She's on trial, and she has no emotion. They are showing pictures of the body, and she's just sitting there, and she is like, I'm not guilty.
Nothing.
She's a sociopath. Gosh. So that's the 3. Oh, and then taking care of Maya. That's a whole nother thing. But we have all these trials going on.
Oh, that trial.
Kowalski. It's good. It's all good. I've been very busy.
Okay, y'all. There is your quickie for the week. We hope you enjoyed the Halloween episode last week, but we are back on schedule with all the quickies. So keep sending us articles because we can't see them all. They are helpful, and hopefully you hear them when we're going over these. All right, and that's all I have. We'll see y'all Thursday for a full episode. Where are we going?
Massachusetts.
2 shits. You're welcome, Robin. All right. Don't forget to
Stay aware.
Stay alive.
And always be DTF.
Bye, y'all.
Goodbye.
Hey, I'm Blair.
And I'm Brittany. And we're the host of
By the Cover Podcast.
We cover everything from mysteries, thrillers, romance, chick lit, and even some smut.
Don't forget the smut.
Yeah.
We're so excited to get this thing going and share this with you guys. We've been talking about this for months, and it's finally happening.
Yes.
Special shout out to Rogue Media for helping us with this.
For sure. You can find us on Instagram at @bythecover_podcast.
You can also find us on Facebook and TikTok, so don't forget to give us a follow on those two also.
And we are so excited to dive into some of our favorite books and share those with you.
We can't wait. Hope you love it.
Hi, and welcome to Bustles and Bangers with your hostess, Rachel and Christopher.
I love it when you say my name.
And you didn't say hi.
I didn't. You just kept going. I'm going to introduce the book. I'm not reading it.
It's
because I don't like reading.
Girls like cowboy butts, and those jeans don't hide anything. Find us on Instagram at Bustles and Bangers or on RogueMediaNetwork.com.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.